Hi everyone, Arthur Dibb, the Heathen Blacksmith here, and I thought today I'll talk about the blacksmithing community as a whole. Now, it's a huge resource to tap into. Now, whether you do that through YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, whatever, social media, or even just talk to the local blacksmiths, you'll learn so much from them. They're a great bunch of people and they're very approachable. In regards to YouTube, I've made notes so I don't forget things. On YouTube, you've got Roy Adams at Christ Centre Ironworks. He's a great guy. He makes all sorts of stuff. Ask him anything. Yamas at Isle Metal Forge. Really nice guy to talk to. Again, learn a lot from him. John at Black Bear Forge. Now he's made videos on practically everything you can think of. If I'm in the middle of the night and I think about something to make, he's probably made a video on it, so I always have a gander first there before talking to anyone. You've got Alex Steele, a British born blacksmith, went over to America and I think he's back in the country, so shout out to him. Dan Moss, UK blacksmith, does a lot of videos. Trust Me I'm a Blacksmith series, very good, really interesting, in depth. I'll be thinking about coming to you for some hammer eye drifts at some point, Dan, so if you're watching, I'll probably be coming over to you. Not sure how to get hold of them, probably through Etsy or something like that. Essential Craftsman. Now, I'm not sure who does the Essential Craftsman videos, but the blacksmithing stuff he does, he knows his stuff. Let's put it that way. He really knows his stuff, and you can ask questions on YouTube and even on Facebook and they'll answer them. Local blacksmiths in the area, I talk to them all. I got trained at college by Andy Flatters, who's an artist blacksmith. Met Colin White through him at college as well. Colin White's an artist blacksmith and a farrier, if I'm correct. I think I am. And you've also got Gary at Friargate Forge. I think I've pronounced that right. Friargate Forge. Now he does all sorts of stuff. He sells Damascus steel, tongs, hammers. I even was lucky enough to get invited down to his workshop, and I felt humbled to do it, you know. And he gave me a hammer. That's one of his hammers, £3 hammer, and it's an amazing piece of kit for moving the steel really quickly. I think that's £3.5 of steel to hit on other steel, and it just moves it really quickly. So cheers for this, Gary. That was back in September or October last year when we weren't really in lockdown, and I went over and yeah, it was great, and you know, just before my birthday as well, so cheers for that, Gary. Talking to them online. At first I didn't talk to anybody, you know, I didn't want to go bothering them with petty things like questions and things like that, so I kept to myself. But when I actually did go out and start talking to them, I found it very valuable. Even in general conversation, you learn about different things in blacksmithing that you never heard of before. Techniques and tips, they'll just give them you. You know, it's brilliant. I talked to a lot to Jez Bates at Bates Tongs, one of the, in my opinion, one of the best British blacksmiths. He knows so much. He's just a fountain of knowledge. Forever talking to him and asking him on tips and advice and things like that. There's also Philip Heath, who's a US blacksmith. Some of his work is mind-blowing. I've seen one of his thrones and it's absolutely stunning, and it's all ornate and all put together by hand. There's no power hammer jobs and no, you know, major big machinery. It's all done by hand and it all works and it all goes together nicely. He did a massive box, and wow, I talk to him on a daily basis, you know, through video chats. So the pros of being in a blacksmithing community outweigh anything, even if that's on Facebook, Instagram or YouTube. Get yourself involved. If you're starting out in blacksmithing, it's a huge resource. You can read all the books in the world, but actually having to talk to someone who's had dealings with doing blacksmithing and has 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 years of experience, they're bound to have come across some of the things that you need to know about. and just ask them. They really will help you all the way. Now, some blacksmiths in the area, there's one in Southport called Keith, and he also does farriery. I've asked him about anvil setup. He's been down here to meet me. He's given me tips on power hammers, anvils, vices, the lot. Showed me how to make horseshoes properly, because that's what he does. You know, he knows how to make horseshoes. And he said he'll be teaching me on some other parts of farriery. So that's brilliant. You know, it's nice to know. And you get to know all these people, and they're so really approachable. Yes, you get the odd one that's so full of themselves, but on the general whole, they're really easy enough to get on with, and you can approach them about any question. Facebook, there's UK Blacksmiths, which is BABA, British Blacksmith Association. They're on Facebook. You can get magazines from them and all sorts of stuff. Brilliant resource. They'll tell you about all the latest news and if there's any jobs coming up and things like that, so that's very helpful if you're just starting out. The list goes on. There's the American Blacksmithing Association. They're brilliant. You know, there's Forge. There's Anvil Fire online, which is an American one. There's what's the other one called? There's the iForge Iron forum. Now you can learn loads off that. You can just go on there, type in a question, and loads of answers come up, and it's like blacksmiths from all over the world. So that's a really good resource. I don't do much of that anymore. I just stick to Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, as I'm doing here. So if you're starting out in blacksmithing, you know, the huge fountain of knowledge that can be at your fingertips, and meeting new other blacksmiths and working with those other blacksmiths. I do day courses myself. Friargate Forge does day courses, and I think Colin White does them as well. If Friargate Forge is doing a blacksmithing course on axes, I don't go near that, because that's their thing. Because we're so close together, you know, why don't we all work together? Because it's beneficial for everyone. If I can't do something, because most of my stuff is by hand, I don't have a big massive power hammer. Yes, I've made my own, but it's not really a perfect thing that I actually need all the time to make other things. So I'll send people to Gary. I'll go, Gary, here's a load of people that want to do an axe making course, for example. And there you go, instant work for him, and vice versa. You know, I've been to his workshop, it was a brilliant place. I've been to Colin White's workshop, Artist Blacksmith. I hope when lockdown's over to go and visit Andy Flatters, who I've not seen in many years. Talk to him on the phone, but he taught me blacksmithing, and apparently he's got a very nice setup from what I've been hearing. So yeah, if you're starting out in blacksmithing, get on social media, have a look, talk to them. You know, they're really easy to approach. You know, I didn't want to bother them at first, but you know, once you start asking questions, you'll end up talking to them on a daily basis. I do it all the time. It's just, you know, even in normal conversation, you will learn a hell of a lot. It's ridiculous. This video is in response to videos I've seen in blacksmithing, on the community in blacksmithing, and I think Yama's at Isle Metal Forge started it. I'm not sure. Roy Adams has done one at Christ Centre Ironworks, and John at Black Bear Forge has done one. So I thought I'd give my little bit of say. You know, I'll hopefully have a link for the playlist in the description below. But yeah, get yourself involved in the community. You can learn a lot just in general conversation, or if you have a specific need for a tool or flux or whatever to do with blacksmithing, they've probably done it. So they've come across the issues that you're facing. So get out there and start talking to them. I'll see you all again. Crack on, get in your forge, make something. I'd love it if you could like, share and subscribe this, and comment on it. You know, give me comments, give me feedback, tell me what I'm doing right, what I'm doing wrong. If you want to see other things, give us a shout. I'll answer them. See you again.